How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and in this video I wanted to do a 1-year review of my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. So if you guys are new to the channel, right here, like I said, this is my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. I recently got it lifted 3 inches on 31-inch mud tires, and I've had literally no issues with this thing. There have been a few minor things that I'm going to go over in this video, but overall I absolutely love this Jeep. And yeah, so just wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about what I think of it, if I still like it, future plans, what I've done to it, and everything like that. Just kind of like an update video on the Jeep for you guys after owning it for a little bit over a year. So hope you guys enjoy the video. So let me just start out by saying this Jeep has been very reliable. Like I said, it's a 2001, about 20 years old. I've had it for a year and like 2 or 3 months right now. So this thing pretty much has been mostly a pavement princess for me. It's my daily driver and occasional off-road vehicle as well. So like I said, I really haven't had any major issues with this Jeep. It's been extremely reliable for me. The thing has 106,000 miles on it. I got it for around $3,500. So I feel like that was a pretty good deal. But whenever I did look at it for the first time, there was a little bit of oil like sitting right below it, and that's pretty common for old Jeeps like this. It wasn't like an actual puddle, it was just like a few little drops of oil right below it. So I didn't really think too much of it because it didn't really seem like that big of a deal. Whenever I took this Jeep to get its first inspection, the mechanic told me that I should probably go ahead and replace the valve cover gasket as well as the rear main seal. Now I have done one of those things, which is replace the valve cover gasket. Whenever I looked at it, there was a whole bunch of like gunk and dirt built up around it. So I figured that was probably a good thing to actually go ahead and replace, and it wasn't too difficult of a job to do. So when it comes to the rear main seal, I've heard that it can be pretty difficult to actually replace those things. That's why I haven't really gotten around to actually doing that yet. But that is pretty much the only other issue that has been found on this Jeep so far. So something else that I did want to talk about in this video is if you guys look right over here, the temperature, it's right at 210. So that's where it's supposed to be. That's the normal operating temperature. So this past summer, when it was a lot warmer than it is right now, the Jeep wasn't really overheating, but for some reason there was kind of like a steam or smoke coming from the engine. I'm not really sure what it was. It kind of smelled like burnt brakes, but it wasn't coming from the brakes. It was coming from the grill up front. One of my friends told me that it could just be a coolant leak and maybe it's just like evaporating off the exhaust or something. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't overheating at all. It was staying at 210 whenever that happened. So I'm not really sure what that was. And like I mentioned in the beginning, we do have 106,000 miles on this Jeep. Oil pressure seems to be good. Of course, it does fluctuate whenever driving, which is pretty normal. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on the road and see how it drives. So one thing that I really like about this Jeep is that there really aren't any blind spots at all. Now, if you guys are pretty new to the channel or only here for the Jeep videos, I also have a Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. Now, that thing is pretty big. You guys know they call those things boats, and it's pretty obvious why. They are huge. And the blind spots on that thing are pretty bad. You definitely do have to get used to them, because even if you look back like that, like, you still can't really see everything that's back there. I did one of my videos and I talked about like the blind spots on the Challenger, and somebody commented and said, you clear your blind spots with horsepower. I guess that is pretty true and pretty smart, because you definitely can clear your blind spots with horsepower, but with this Jeep you can't. So it's a good thing that it doesn't have blind spots. But on the highway, if I'm going like up a hill, I could literally have my foot on the floor and it wouldn't go above 50. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I feel like it just didn't want to downshift for some reason. Once it downshifted, it started picking up speed a little bit, but it was still very slow, even with my foot all the way down to the floor. So another thing I want to talk about driving at high speeds is that it kind of floats around the road. Now, it wasn't that bad before I actually got the lift kit and new tires installed on this thing. So, of course, I'm not really complaining too much about that because it's probably related to, you know, the lift kit and new tires and stuff like that. Also, one thing about the brakes is that when I hit the brakes pretty hard, like harder than normal, it kind of sways to one side and I have to turn the wheel to correct it, even if I'm going straight. For a 20-year-old Jeep, I really don't have any real complaints. So I don't want you guys to think that like all these negative things that I'm talking about are things that I'm actually like complaining about, because they're not. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of things that you could expect if you're thinking about getting a Jeep like this. As you guys can see, going over some of these bumps, it soaks them up pretty well. You can see right there, it was a nice little pothole. So yeah, it's really not too bumpy, but I will say the lift kit did make the suspension more stiff, which is common. As you guys probably know, these old Jeeps are known for having very bad rust, and this Jeep is not exempt from that. So I will get out and show you guys what I'm talking about here. But we actually are getting all the rust fixed up finally. I know I've been procrastinating doing that for, you know, the past year, ever since I've got this thing. I have done some minor rust repairs just on the door jambs and stuff like that, but nothing actually serious, like replacing a whole body panel that's like rusted out. So that's what we are getting done here soon, so you guys definitely want to be on the lookout for a video on that. But yeah, taking this turn here, obviously we're not going fast at all, but I just wanted to show you guys how it handles. You know, in the city, I do want to say it kind of handles like a normal car. Like, it's, I don't know, like soaking up bumps pretty well. Of course it turns pretty well, and I'm not saying that it handles well like a sports car or anything like that, because of course it doesn't. It's not made to do that. But I do want to say that this Jeep is kind of like an all-around good on and off-road vehicle. So we got a nice bump right there. You guys saw it, soaked it up, no problem, no death wobble at all after getting the lift kit. So I know death wobble is more common on, I think, the Wranglers, not really the Cherokees, but I have heard of some of the Cherokees getting death wobble as well. And this road is very bumpy right here, so you guys will see how well it soaks up all these bumps. And we got a turn coming up here with some bumps as well. Soaking everything up with no problem, no wobbling or anything like that, no issues. So I mean, I guess the only thing I can complain about is like the acceleration issue when it comes to highway driving. And that's, you know, that's the only thing I can complain about, like for real complain about. But then again, like I said, this Jeep isn't made to drive fast or drive on the highway or anything like that. It's great at doing what it's made to do, which is driving off-road. All right, so we're going up a slight little hill right here, and as you can see, there's literally no problems driving this thing up a hill at low speeds. The problem comes when you're driving like on a highway at highway speeds, anywhere from like 40 to 50. That's when the problems start happening, that went like the acceleration issues that I was talking about. Because once it shifts into that top gear, it just has problems like downshifting, I guess. I'm not sure why, if that's just like a transmission issue with these Jeeps or what, but it usually happens at that speeds. What I've noticed is that whenever I do have that issue, if I take my foot off the accelerator, it'll downshift, and then I put my foot back on the gas, and it does, you know, it's in a lower gear, so it can accelerate better that way. But yeah, I don't know what the issue is with that. If anybody has had that problem and you know like what the issue is, definitely let me know down in the comments. So as you guys can see, we are going up this little gravel road right here, and of course it's nothing serious. It's going to make it up in two-wheel drive, no problem. But I just wanted to tell you guys like how much fun this thing is, because you can literally drive it anywhere you want. You don't have to worry about like people keying your Jeep, because, you know, most people don't really see the value in an old Jeep like this, so they're not going to really notice it that much in parking lots or anything. Also, you don't have to worry about like accidentally hitting your splitter, or I don't know, if you have like a low sports car or something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Now going up this little gravel road right here, of course no issues whatsoever. But yeah, this Jeep is just a really cool like vehicle to explore new places in. It's, I don't know, it's just an all-around fun vehicle to drive. Very reliable too. I know some of these Jeeps, you know, do have problems, which is pretty common because it's a 20-year-old Jeep. So, but anyways, something else that I did want to talk about is just some very minor like electrical issues that I've had with this Jeep. Just turn this thing off. So one issue that I did want to point out as well, other than like the oil leaks and stuff like that, is the rear driver door right here. It actually does not unlock with the electronic buttons here. Let me show you guys what I mean. So if I hit like the door unlock, or that was lock, I guess. If I hit it unlock, it'll be to the left. You guys will see this one will unlock. So it's unlocked right now. And I go here, I can't open it. If I go to the other side, you know, it opens and you can see it's unlocked right there. So that's just one electrical issue that I've had, and the previous owner did let me know about that, so it's not like it was a surprise to me or anything. But you know, the only way to actually open this door is to go in from the inside right here. And then of course you can open it, and when you open this, you can see all that beautiful rust right there. So let's go ahead and talk about the next point. We're actually getting this replaced or fixed sometime soon. So you guys can definitely be looking out for a video on all this rust repair. We're literally getting all the rust fixed on this Jeep. So, you know, I've showed you guys this stuff in previous videos, but yeah, that is not good. You see part of the frame back there isn't very good either. Same thing on the other side here. This side isn't too bad. It's mostly just the driver's side that's bad. But my main issue was this rocker right here. So for this rust repair that we're doing, we're actually going all out and actually fixing like literally all the rust on this Jeep. So starting off, we are going to be doing the inner and outer rocker panels on both sides, driver and passenger. The passenger side really isn't that bad. If we can get out and show you guys right now. So you guys already saw the driver's side. That's pretty bad. There's a hole right there. Passenger side, you guys can see it's starting to rust a little bit on the bottom right there. So I'm just gonna have it replaced as well. That's why I'm having the passenger side replaced as well, just because it is already starting to rust. So I just wanna, you know, fix it up before it actually happens. So after that, we are also doing the inner and outer rear lower quarter panels on both sides. I showed you guys what those look like. Of course, the driver's side was a little bit worse than the passenger side. We are getting, you know, both sides replaced, like I said. One issue with that is that the new panels do not come with the brackets that hold on the rear bumper end caps. So we're probably just going to end up using the ones that are on there right now because they are in pretty good shape. The rust is only like on the bottom part of the quarter panels, so we can still reuse those brackets that hold on the rear bumper end cap. So that shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. We are also doing like a whole rust removal process for the underbody. They're going to be using like a wire brush to get rid of all the rust down there. And then after that, they're going to be undercoating it with fluid film. So they're going to be literally undercoating everything except for the exhaust. They're also going to be putting that fluid film like inside the frame so it doesn't rust from the inside. So I'm hoping it's going to turn out pretty well and it's going to clean up the Jeep a whole lot more. So another minor electrical issue that I've had with this Jeep is on the same door, actually, the rear driver's door. Sometimes the window doesn't want to go up or down, like with the buttons down here. If I just like press that up or down, sometimes it doesn't want to actually like work. I don't know if that's just because of the temperature, maybe, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Not really sure what the issue is there, but I've heard people say that I need to replace the master switch. So maybe if I do that, it'll fix the door unlock and lock button too. So I don't know, I'll probably be doing that sometime in the future. But yeah, overall, really no major issues with this Jeep. Of course, like I said, most old Jeeps are known for having those oil leaks and also rust issues. It's really hard to find a clean XJ like this without any issues. So whenever I saw this one, it was pretty clean. I knew it had, you know, a small oil leak that wasn't really a huge deal. And it also had that rust issue. So we are getting all that fixed. Like I said, we already fixed the valve cover gasket. I replaced that with one of the Felpro ones and haven't had any issues with that yet. So hopefully nothing else happens. This thing's been very reliable for me. Very fun to drive on and off-road, except on the highways, of course, because it's not that great at going at high speeds. I know some people say that Jeeps are great highway drivers. Not for me. I'm going up a hill, it just doesn't want to downshift and accelerate. So yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been extremely reliable. Very fun to explore new places, like this little place that I like to come up to and film videos for you guys. I am planning on doing like an off-roading video because I actually haven't taken this Jeep off-road, like proper off-road, ever since I got the new mud tires and the lift kit installed. I am planning on taking this thing back to the same trail that I did whenever this thing was completely stock. If you guys haven't seen that video, also make sure to check it out. I took this thing off-roading back when it was completely stock. Now, like I said in the beginning, this thing kind of is a pavement princess for me. It is my daily driver, so I do rely on it a lot. So whenever I say that I'm taking this thing off-roading, it's not going to be anything crazy, so just don't have like too high expectations, I guess. We will be taking this thing through some little mud puddles and some rocks and stuff like that, just some minor off-roading to see if the performance actually got better with the lift kit and the new tires. Everything else works other than those little things that I mentioned already. One thing I'm not sure about is, I don't know if these, like, if this part is supposed to light up, because it doesn't. So if it's supposed to light up, then that's one other thing that does not work. All of these gears, like, these things light up, but the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, that does not light up. So yeah, I mean, that might be another thing, like an issue, but it's not really an issue. So like I said, this thing's been very reliable for me. Everything works except those few little things that I mentioned. Oil leaks, rust repairs, you pretty much can't avoid those with these old Jeeps. Normally I would be filming from outside, but I can't really do that right now. It's a little bit windy out right now, so it's kind of why this whole video has been from inside the Jeep. It's actually a pretty comfortable Jeep. Like, there's a good amount of legroom back here. You can see you can take 5 people in the Jeep, or if you want to put some people in the trunk, you got space back there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, it's been very reliable for me. Like I said, my only issue with this Jeep is driving on the highway, how it doesn't want to downshift whenever I'm going up a hill or something like that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are thinking about getting an XJ, you definitely should do it. They are a lot of fun, very reliable if you get the right one. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you have any questions or any video suggestions for videos you would like to see in the future, drop those down in the comments below. And if you guys like this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.